Welcome back to my channel, Libra. Sorry, out and about, always on limited time with my computer here. So I'm just going to do a quick read. This is for the last 2 weeks of September. Does look like it's so it's September 2021, 15th through to the 30th. So I am reading from the Return of Spirit cards here, as well as we've got the Energy Oracle cards, and I will also be doing the Career Money Finance. It'll follow up with the Rider Waite deck, which I'll shuffle in front of you here shortly. So starting out with I pre-pulled the Oracle cards just because I don't have a lot of time on my instruments when I'm out and about here with my computer. So anyway, in terms of what I see here with the Oracles for the last 2 weeks, I do feel that you do have some challenges ahead. I do see the Violet Flame is really a card of a tower moment, really. I do feel like you need to, look at things from a different perspective because you are going to be ascending here. There's a lot of new energy that's coming through intuitively to you for the month of September. You are actually now rising up to a whole new level here on a spiritual level, but you have to be open to those things. And unfortunately, I do see that there is going to be some form of challenge. I feel it's more internal than external. Not to say that an external precipitating factor might not be at play, but you might be overly focused on it because it does look like you're going to have to pull yourself out of something here anyway, to do with your sense of value or your worthiness. You don't feel good enough, something along that line. We do have a sense of commitment, which I feel you're going to have. You're being asked to take some kind of action on a particular project. As well, there's recognition, knowledge, and writing here at the very bottom. So I do feel that you are getting some recognition this month, but it may not be, enough recognition that you feel like you're making great progress, but you are in fact making great progress. The thing about this month, or at least for sure in this last 2 weeks, and for some of you, just remember that a lot of the you need to allow for a little bit of flexibility in the readings, though, because as I say, not everybody is doing the same activities on the same date, so there's got to be some kind of leeway there. So some of this is going to run into October for some of you, but again, there's recognition, there's some kind of acknowledgement for something that you're putting out into the world that's based around your knowledge, your mastery, your expertise in a particular area, something that you find value in and that you are sharing with the world. I do feel like it's on an internet basis. I do feel it's more international or something global, because there's other cards that speak to that with other oracles. You are being asked at this time to take note of anything in terms of dreams, symbols, any kind of messages or something, or synchronicities, anything that's coming through this month, because it is going to be significant for you to do so with the right card. As well, this is also a card that a lot of you are writers, a lot of you are really creative, and you need to start taking action on that as well, because it is strongly present in the month of September that something in regards to your words are very significant. You need to express yourself in some way anyway. I would use that more broadly. Writing is definitely about the written word, but it's also very strongly related around expression. So again, whatever that is for you, whether it is writing poetry, whether it is, writing a letter, communicating with somebody, or writing letters, for business, or giving a speech, or something along the line of lectures, whatever it is, it's still about getting that out into the tangible, so that it's not staying in the mind. This is about improving, getting past self-doubts by expressing yourself in some way, because you are strongly creative, and especially in this month, there is a strong need for you to express yourself, as I mentioned, because you're very powerful in this particular way. Something in the way that you do something is unique, and it needs to be not judged, but put out in such a way that you are either confirming this, I don't know how to put that, but you're finding your value and your sense of worth, and maybe it's just expressing it to yourself, maybe on paper in terms of a journal, but in other way, for others of you, this is going to be coming through in, expressing ways through creative means that are more external. But either way, you want to trust what's coming through this month, because a lot of you are given that gift to write, and it needs to come through for sure. But again, for others of you, this is about committing something to paper, writing out, how you're feeling about something, to help you get past something. But just start recording ideas, thoughts, and whatever, teachers or symbols or synchronicities or whatever come through this month for you to be able to keep yourself open enough and receptive to spirit, because as I said, there's a strong there's a strong message that's coming through this month in terms of your worthiness and, you know, your service to humanity is really what's happening here. But I do feel that, as I say, you're getting some recognition for something here, and you just need to commit to it. I feel like you need to get some alternative shift your perspective, you know, to be able to get to move to this higher level. You know, you have to be able to function because you're shifting vibrational frequency. So you want to be able to start noticing some of the differences in your thoughts, some of the differences in the way that you physically present something or how you energetically process something. But it is a shifting of the way that you function. So again, from the internal to the external. So there's something in that change of perception that needs to happen this month, and you are given, you know, a level of protection here. It's like a level of, like a third skin, so shall we say. You know, you've got your internal world is getting some kind of a shield for you to be able to go through this internal shift, and to allow Spirit to bring in these synchronicities for you. But you do need to also simplify your world. So getting rid of things that don't work for you, things that stand in your way, obstruct you. You know, I mean, it's even as simple as if you want to exercise, you know, if you're already wearing the exercise, or you put your exercise equipment or something in on a chair when you first come in to the house, you're just more apt to do something if it's right there in front of you. You know, writing desk, making sure everything is clear so that you can actually just get right to it, and there's not a lot of, and if you set up the time and a schedule and you're more diligent about those kinds of things, you know, you're more inclined to move things to the next level. So this is a time, as I say, there's a lot of energy here about something happening very swiftly internally as well as externally. But I do feel a lot of this is internal change, especially in that last 2 weeks. So you're going to be quickly processing things. You're going to be moving up, but it can put you at a disadvantage, as I say, because there's, in that transition in between those thoughts, there are some you know, between the thoughts and the expression of something, there's a lot of vulnerabilities that come up here, is what I feel is occurring for you. So while you're going through this either brain fog or this turmoil or other people interruptions or whatever it is, like I said, you need to simplify it and you need to get to work on it, because you're going to be getting a whole bunch of messages coming through here. So you might be a little irritable and lack of patience with yourself or others. Whatever this is for you, this tower moment, you are shielded, but you also need to be aware of it. But this is an energy shift just to help you get clear on where you're headed, even more so. So as I said, you know, with the card of immunity, you might be feeling like you're under attack for something, or that you're not getting, you know, you're not being heard, disagreements, but it feels like this is at a 5. This is, you know, you're something throwing some chaos and disturbance into this 2-week period here. But you want to try to just stay grounded here, is what you know, don't fall into old patterns, all of that. You know, you don't have to try to fix anything here. You just need to shift incrementally, just over whatever the issue is, just shift it incrementally, and then keep doing that until such time that you can release those negative patterns. You know, this is really a positive shift, though, as I said, even though it's an uncomfortable one initially here, but you have to see the bigger picture here. You know, you want to be able to respond and take action, as I said, but it is for the highest good. So this is really about, you know, your response to the changes and to the things around you. You don't want to fall back on old patterns. As I mentioned here, you do have a healthy form of protection, you know, around you. There's a shell of protection inside, outside, you know, while you're going through this energy shift, and you don't want to allow others to kind of interrupt this process, you know, and by doing so, that means shielding yourself from some of the negative things that might be coming in and not responding, so that you can actually allow for the gifts of the information, as I say, and the synchronicities being the symbols. You know, I feel that your body, I feel like the spirit is within the body, and the external body, our physical body, is really just a shell of armor to protect the spirit. And so it decodes the information that's coming in. It is where, you know, our 5 senses, etc. These are the things that allow us to align with, some of the energy that's out there, the grids. I believe in sort of grids of power, grids of energy. Some areas just seem to have, like in nature, there's more grounding. And so I really feel all of these are just aspects of energy, and we're able to come into contact with those in terms of, think of it in terms of a meteor in the cosmos. You've got a meteor hit with another, another entity or another body of sorts, and even our physical body is that shell. So when we're hit with negative energy, or energy that's more chaotic, not even really negative energy, we need the yin yang balance. You can't have one type of energy over another. You need the balance of both, otherwise the energy gets stuck, and I believe that's where we get karma. But again, these are just my own thoughts, interpret it as you will. But I just feel that when you do have some form of protection with the physical body, we do have an element of being able to decode, the information and the energy that comes into us via a bird or some kind, or a feather, or some kind of a symbol that resonates for us. And this is spirit trying to communicate with us, but it's really energy. We see it as a bird, but it's really energy, a form of energy that helps to build us up. So moving back into, sorry, I go off on tangents, but when we're moving into some of the other aspects here, as I say, you're in a period of surfacing something. Something is coming to the surface here, and again, you are moving up. So this is about taking yourself off the ground. This is about moving, you're allowing yourself to see your real self. This is the blueprint of who you really are. The world needs whatever it is that you have come imprinted with. This is something that you need to start building on, because the whole point is not to get stuck in karma. It's whoever's able to carry this light forward in this world to share with others. When you're strong enough to carry the light and touch another so that they can learn a lesson, but pulling back so that you're not trying to guide somebody right to the finish line. You have your own lessons to learn, but you're also, sharing that energy. It's, when you have a strong amount of energy, you're able to touch more people. You want to be able to keep the free flow of energy so that people don't get stuck in karma. So they're not stuck in a position where the spirit is forced to live less than, Again, some of this is, interpret it as you will. This is just a lot of my own thoughts here, but I do feel with the up card, this is really about, you getting past low self-esteem and really seeing your own value. Because this shift and this transition does mean that you are in a place where you're having to embrace something new. I feel that there's a discomfort, in this last 2 weeks. But again, it's about recognizing why you're really here. The whole point of who we are is how we've lived our life well lived. And that comes from remembering who you are. It's the self-empowered self, not the disempowered self. The disempowered self is the energy hits that we take from things in our world where the energy is imbalanced. And it's our place to try to rebalance our own personal sense of value and that around us. But anyway, moving on past that, again, I do feel that the message today, for that 2-week period in September is that the cosmos is really supporting you here. There's so much encouragement here. And a lot of you come with such deep knowledge that you're not really aware of your own sense of value yet, but you have to keep dissecting away the energy that no longer serves you. Pull that away from your own energy so that you can allow for more positive, lighter energy to come in. I believe that our physical body is only able to house a certain amount of energy, and so when we do get heavier energy, that sort of ties us to that 3D world, so to speak, it doesn't allow us to move forward. So when you release that energy and learn a lesson, that's when you can allow the lighter energy to come in to move you forward. Okay, so moving into, let's see here, what card have I not covered here? So again, with that violet flame, that's definitely, it's definitely all about, dark, difficult time, that kind of thing. As I said, more the tower moment. But again, you want to be able to recognize, get clear on what it is, your sense of purpose in that, especially in that last 2 weeks. Hold the light, because that violet flame really speaks to, guiding you through a process of the change here as well. So the change is inevitable. With these two cards together, with actually these three cards together, the change is inevitable. You are moving up. You are ascending. There's something inside of you that is now ready to change your world entirely, and you have to be ready for it. You have to weather the storms, because this is just a part of how you release the old to bring in the new. So the card of surfacing, again, that is, you moving into that place where you actually have set up some boundaries here. You're also stepping out of your comfort zone here. This is a card that's allowing you to see or to tap into that true expression of yourself, and it's allowing those, the deeper subconscious levels, to be challenged. You're stepping up, you're stepping out into the world. This is about you, again, creatively expressing here with the right card. This is about getting out there, releasing a novel, speaking publicly, giving a lecture, doing a presentation, really putting yourself out there. And yes, it does mean to be judged, but it doesn't matter, because this is not about whether or not what you have to say is important. It's more about whether or not you have, you're being true to yourself. And in being true to yourself, you're going to eventually attract the tribe, or attract those that resonate with your information. And it is also a time of self-discovery. So, again, when you put the information out there, you're going to be able to delve even deeper, because there's a lot of things that are not fully conscious to you yet. There's a lot more that's still below the surface. Okay, so I think I've spent enough time on that. So I'm going to bring this into the next set of cards here, which is, again, the oracles on, we've got adjacent possibilities, we've got angel of love, man holding a heart, rest and rejuvenation, action, attachment, hostilities, temple path. We also have anxiety. Sorry, I'm running out of room here. We've got anxiety, healer of the ages, woman holding a heart, and the yin yang. So again, even with this combination of cards here too, this really speaks to much of the same. You're being asked to go through something, shift your perspective so that you can get clear on what it is that you need to do. You really need to think about some of the unconsidered options. Think about the things that, that you're habitually doing, and find a way to, find more potential in something. Choose a different door, choose a different course, or or pattern of behavior, or thought pattern, whatever, because it does speak to some kind of major life decision that's going to be happening in this, especially in this 2-week period. And again, for some of you, it'll resonate further out into October. But in terms of your goals, there might be something here that you've not fully considered yet, whether it's expanding into, into a new arena, universally recognition, as I say, which might come from marketing, or, connecting on a more international level, or something that you just haven't considered here. Again, could be internet related, or just marketing yourself in a new way. With this card here, Angel of Love, I feel like there is some element of somebody coming in here to help. It could speak to some kind of new love that's also, might be somebody who you just are very close to as well. That's coming through, but I do feel like this is more along the lines of close connections. So somebody, again, could be new love, but it's also close connections that you're trying to get a little more connected to, I think, for this 2-week period. Again, for some of you, this is forging those new connections, because we also have the man holding a heart, but for others, it's wanting maybe that deeper connection. But there's energetic potential toward it anyway. It's just maybe not happening quite yet. But we also have man holding a heart. So that one actually, again, speaks to, a loving connection as well. Somebody coming in, family-oriented connections, all of that. And it does speak to, having, as I said, new people, new experiences, any of that, family events, something like that could be celebrations related as well. I mean, I believe it is your birthday month for a lot of you. Rest and rejuvenation. Take the time to really go inward. It's like the Hermit card here. You just want to take the time to really get clear on where it is that you're headed, but as well heal yourself. go. You're looking for inner wisdom this month, I think, especially in this 2-week period, because it's such a strong shift. And again, you have another card of taking action with these oracles. You need to take action on something. You really need to start going forward here, writing for some of you, creative self-expression, whatever, but it seems to be, you conveying some sense of truth that needs to come forward. We also have the attachment card. Could be codependent relationships here as well, with man holding a heart, and attachments. Could also be just hanging on to, old patterns of behavior, things that you need to shift out of here as well, because the 5 is all about a shift. So you need to make some kind of change in whatever it is that's holding you back. There is something that it's like the 8 of Swords here. It's sort of a self-imprisonment, but you've got to take action to be able to break those chains. So again, you have to have a willingness to go forward here. Stop the old patterns, strong attachments, people from the past, whatever it is that you feel is important to you, because it looks like you're dealing with hostilities this month, as I mentioned, even with the earlier cards here. So you could be feeling persecuted, feeling like you're in a defense mode, but there's certainly a certain degree of aggression that comes through with the hostilities card. But it's not about deceit. It's really more about old energy or new energy, or something that you just need to bring some control in, because either maybe you're being too many demands put on you and you're getting defensive, or maybe you are feeling like you're being backstabbed or something along that line, especially again with that combination of cards. But you are very divinely protected here. You do have spirit so close to you in this month that you really need to allow yourself to heal and rely on appreciating yourself, because this is also very much about realizing your own strength, your own truth, sticking up for yourself. But it's more about having a spiritual path and a purpose, and you are supported in that spiritual evolution is what's coming through with this card. So it could be a karmic relationship as well, with the hostilities and the attachment and the man holding a heart, and with that temple path. But I feel that you are heading in the right direction, and it definitely is in support of family members coming through to support you here with the temple path. So you've got angels, guides. It's a life expanding time is how the card would refer to it, but it is your higher self that's coming through. Again, I feel like you're going through a lot of anxieties. You're going through a lot of inward turmoil and trying to deal with that shift. There's worry, there's distress. I'm going to go through the, again, career, money, finance aspect. I might just pull a couple of cards and then do a separate reading. I don't know, because this is getting a little bit longer, so I might do it as a separate reading here. But again, even with this card of anxiety, there is some kind of a storm that you're moving away from, but you need to release the worry and the anxiety. You do have healers of the ages. Some of you could definitely be teachers here that are coming through. This is also about, again, being supported from the universe. You're definitely getting greater control. You've got more inner strength, unlimited resources. You're able to bring your dreams into a reality here with that card. You just need to recognize your own sense of your own sense of worth. This is a renewal card. This is about unblocking any stuck energy. You're being helped through that period here. So again, there's a sense of renewal and trying to rebalance things for that last 2 weeks. Again, some of it will be trailing into October, but I do feel that there is loving, healing intention that's coming through with that card. So we also have woman holding a heart. And again, this really speaks to sort of that same energy of dealing with family members and emotions and loving, connections or things that you want to resolve with family or with friends or something along that line. Could be a teacher or confidant coming through as well. Someone that's helping you with your emotional issues or something, that is troubling you, but helping to bring something to the forefront into awareness so that you can deal with it. Again, to get that balance with the yin and yang energy here. So really, really transformative month here is what I would say. And when I do the tarot cards for the career, money, finance, I suspect we're going to have the same answer coming through in terms of, something might be happening on the financial front. But I think I'm going to do it as a separate video, because this one it's running into probably about 25 minutes here. But this is also about being intuitive and logical, and helping you to identify anything that's out of balance here with that card. So as I say, please stay tuned for the career, money, finance on the next video here, because this one is a little bit longer than I expected, but you are going to be going within very, very much so in that last 2 weeks. I feel that you'll probably be in some kind of a hermit mode, maybe feeling like you you're not being accepted on some level. So maybe that is going to come through in terms of finances. Maybe there's some kind of a job loss or there's some kind of difficulty on that front. Don't know yet. So please stay tuned on the next video for career, money, finance. And thank you so much for your time, Libra. And hopefully this gives you a little bit of guidance on what's coming through. Again, September 15th through to the end of the 30th could be a little further out for some of you. Please allow flexibility and stay safe. Keep moving forward.